Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Lily, and here I chat, I cook and vlog. If it's fun or relatable, I'm doing it. So today I came with a story time for you. I crossed the borders for love. Was it with? Let's find out. So early last year, started chatting to this advert dude on Instagram, and he was like, let me get to know you a little bit more, can you give me your WhatsApp number? And I was like, I bet, since we're already vibing, there wasn't any bad energy whatsoever. Let's just say there was good energy and I was willing to explore it. So I gave him my WhatsApp number and we started getting to know each other. Guy would video call me, he would call me almost every day, and we were sort of in a long distance relationship. So months passed and things went really going well. Things went really going well on our side. I was working a job that would only be able to pay for my rentals, and I wouldn't be able to get groceries or anything. So it was very frustrating, and I was like, I need to relocate and go back home. So I told the guy that this is what I'm thinking, 1 2 1 2 the thing, and I have to pick my bags and go. And the guy was like, you should have told me sooner, because there are a lot of big opportunities this side. Not big, he was like, okay, there are a lot of job offers that I'm hearing about. Even next to me there's a guest house that's hiring people, and with your expertise you can easily get a job, and it's going to be paying you 8,000 above. And I was like, oh really? And he was like, yeah. And then I was like, oh, that's better, because I'm getting paid on commission, and usually it's quiet at my workplace, so I would really appreciate that. But I do not have any way that I can crush it while I find my feet there. And he was like, no problem, you can come by me, and I swear nothing will happen, we'll just be helping each other out and whatever. And then I was like, oh sure, because remember, it had been months, we had been talking, and we got to know each other a lot more, so I felt comfortable to be like, okay, it can also be an opportunity for us to finally meet, and I'll be closer to you, because we were getting along and everything was moving along well. So I gave away some of my stuff, sold what I could sell, and then I packed my stuff. And you know, when you're packing for relocation, the luggage will be a lot. And then I got on the bus. So on the day that I was leaving, I told him that I'm going to be on the bus by 3 p.m. and he was like, okay, sure, just let me know when you're leaving. And then I was like, bet. But remember, I used to chat to this guy all day. We used to video call for hours and hours. But on this day, he was like, I'm just busy at work, but you just let me know when you're on your way. And context, this is going to be useful later on. Guy has said that he works from home mostly, that is why he's able to video call me, what. And in case you're thinking he was catfishing me, I don't think, no, in case you think he was catfishing me, he wasn't. Like, pictures are pictures, but guy was alright, he was fine. Okay, just a second. So that was a red flag. It was like, I'm busy at work, but he just let me know. I got on the bus, we crossed the border, and when we got there, for some reason the SIM cards weren't working in my phone, so I had to be asking people to call. Guy wasn't picking up his phone after I was now in Botswana. He wasn't picking up his phone, and I was like, anyways. So as I was asking people to call his phone, the people were left there, they were about to leave, and they were like, I don't think your cousin, because you can't say I crossed the borders from Jolo. Your cousin isn't, I don't think your cousin is coming, so you have to make a plan to get off the taxi so you can be safe and stuff like that. And then when you wake up tomorrow, you can know what you're going to do next, either catch a bus or whatever, because there are no buses leaving midnight going back to South Africa. So I was like, okay. That was around past midnight by then. So the ladies were so kind enough. They even bought me food, and then we got and then they had booked a place, because they were also going to a place that was further away. So they also had booked a B&B, and then they were like, we'll just call in and see if they have a free room, and tell us how much you have, and then you can tell us how much you have, and we'll see what we can do. Fortunately, my man was enough to book, and then I was like, yeah, let me just book a room, and I'm pretty sure denial is a river. I'm pretty sure that when he's reachable, I won't be stranded if I book a room. I didn't have a lot of money, by the way, so it was actually 500 to book the room, and I was left with something like 600. Is the money necessary? Okay, let's just move along with this. So you don't get the figures, but I was at a tight spot. So we booked the room, and we went with those two ladies. It was like a mother and a daughter. They were very nice. So when I got inside the room, when I got inside the room I just sat on the bed and stared at the wall. I didn't even flinch or blink. I was just like, Lord, what am I gonna do if he's not reachable and I don't know anyone here and my mind is not enough to go back home? And when I left, I told my relatives that I'm going back home, my relatives in South Africa, that I'm going back home. And at home I told my relatives and at home that I'm going to Cape Town for I'm moving from Johannesburg to Cape Town for a new job opportunity. So it was because I couldn't ask anyone else for money to come back home. It was gonna be embarrassing. Judgment was going to come flying. So yeah, that's how the situation was like. So I went to take a shower, and as I was done, the ladies knocked and they were like, oh, we brought you some food because I think you're gonna need it more. Yes, I did need it more. And they left me the food, and when we woke up, it was time for checkout, and then the ladies checked out. I also checked out, and we were sitting outside. They were still trying to call him with, but for them he wasn't answering. But I think something got to him, and then he was just like, oh, let me pick up. And then the ladies were shouting at him, you know, how can you know that someone is in a night bus and you don't answer your phone? She's a lady, you know what's happening to ladies in the world. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, I was so tired from work, and then I just fell asleep and I'm just waking up. Okay. And then I was like, okay, let me talk to him. And then I asked him, and then I was like, oh, you see where you got off in was it in Gibbs? I don't know. You still have to take a bus that is like, it's still 4 hours away. You still have to take a taxi that's 4 hours away, and then you're gonna take another taxi from where they drop you, and then I'm gonna come fetch you. Oh, you didn't say that. You just said take the taxi for 4 hours and then I'll be waiting for you. And then I took the taxi. And can you imagine, this is just a sec. Okay, so I took the taxi for around 4 hours, and then when, oh my god, this is a new country that I've never been to, so I can't speak the language, and the locals didn't seem to be so fond of English. So I was like, hi, where can I get the taxis to? And then I forgot the name of the place. And then they were like, taxi? Yeah, taxi. Let's take coffee. And they started laughing at me, and then I literally had to shout, I'm looking for, like, signing, pointing at the taxi. I'm looking for that goes to. Okay, let's just use fruits because I forgot the things. I'm looking for that goes to Belene. And then they were like, okay, get in, it's gonna be so and so much. And then I got in. And then when I got there, I thought, guy is gonna be waiting for me. And then I called him again using another person's phone, which was a hassle already. And then he was like, well, by the way, you're still not there. You still have to take another taxi, which is like 23 puller to get to where I am. And then I was like, I was frustrated, but from where I was, there was no turning back. Sorry, my baby's busy there. Okay, so it was like a point of no return now, because I've used a lot of money at this point, and you just want to get there. And remember, I was relocating, so the luggage was a lot. Took my stuff, and then I got off the other 23 puller taxi one, and still guy was not there. And I was like, I was just standing there for over 30 minutes, and where they dropped me, they were like big yards, you know, those yards that will stretch like 100 meters. It's just a lot. 100 meters is a lot, I don't know. But then there were big yards and there was no one in the road. So I was just standing there for like 30 minutes because there was no one to ask for a phone so that I can let him know that I'm there. But then when I was standing there, I was like, maybe the struggle was worth it, because look at those yards. It's giving, should we say Santon? It's giving Boruto. Okay. And then, luckily, so I was like, yeah, okay. I was still thinking, thought process, that this is a very nice place. Maybe the struggle was worth it. And then as I was standing there, a guy opened the gate from behind me, and then I was like, maybe it's him. So I'm like, and then I turned around, it's not him. So it's another guy who was about to pass me. Oh, he actually passed me, and then he went on his way. He was going to the shops, and then he came back. Now it's an hour gone. Then he was like, I'm sorry, you've been standing here for a long time. What is wrong? Then I was like, I started explaining my situation. I don't know, I have a SIM card. And I'm supposed to be seeing someone. I've never been here and I'm looking for this and this place. And he was like, oh, you live for that village. Then I was like, yeah. And then he was like, okay, give me the number, let me call. And then they called me. And he was like, oh, so sorry. I was just taking a bath, but I'll be right there. But you can meet me on the way if you want. Just tell me which route you're using. But as they were communicating together, it was easy for them to plan like the routes and stuff. And I'm like, can you go this way? So, okay. So the guy was like, oh, Shem, I'm really so sorry for you. So I'm gonna go with you and then leave you as you meet the guy. Make sure that you are there with the guy because you might not get someone else to help you around.
No.
And I was like, thank goodness. As I was standing there with my mini bags, I just said, let me look around. And then I turned to my left. Who did I see? Guy was coming towards me, wearing gumboots and a wetsuit that the what do you call them, the legs of the wetsuit, they were inside the gumboots, and he was very, very dirty. And this is the person who stood me up saying that they are taking a bath. Anyways, at that moment you don't think much, and they said they're working in the office, and I should have known because guy used to send me videos of him like in the shower, you know, like those influencer videos people in the shower and whatever. They'd be like, oh, I'm just saying I'll send to you. Cringe. I should have known. Maybe he went somewhere the shower was there. They were just those rectangle houses and thatched houses. All my life, even in Zimbabwe, I'd never been to the rural areas. And here I am finding myself at this big age in the rural areas. Yo. Without my intent, not that there's anything wrong with the words, but you get me. Yo, and then we just started walking. You know, at that moment when you are very desperate, I was desperate to just pretend to be blind. I became blind and mute. And I couldn't shout at him or anything. I was just like, oh, thank you for coming. And then we walked and then we go to this other room, which was just like a very tiny room, like a storage room, like rectangular. And then we did like, it was thatched on top and it was not painted. And it was like, welcome home. City girl, welcome home. And then we got inside, and then inside the house it was just like a small metal bed, you know, like those ones they used to have in boarding houses back home, with a small mattress on there. And then I just sit there, and as I sit I almost sleep, but I just sat there, and I was like, do you want a bath? You can come outside and put water in the sun for you to bath, so you can come outside and bath as I'm cooking. Guy was cooking on the fire. Come bath outside, outside in the open. He was like, then I was like, outside. And I was like, no one is gonna see you because no one hardly ever comes here and no one passes here, it's always me. And I was like, no, thank you, I'll just have my bath inside. And then he gave me a big vascom and a bucket. And then I had my bath. And then he was cooking outside. And then when he was done, that rice was smelling nice. He came inside with the rice. When he was done cooking, he came in with the pot of rice and he came in with the pot of rice and he put it down. And then I thought he's actually going to get the stew or the sauce. But then he came back empty-handed, and I was like, what are we gonna eat the rice with? Well, I thought you were going to get the stew, and then I was putting out the fire. I was like, okay. And then he took out some tomato sauce and mayo and he had it to me, and there was this little no. And then he was like, you can have it, just have it plain. Okay, I was angry, so I chowed it. And then the next morning I was waking up with the smell of fire. Guy was so used to his lifestyle that you already hit another pot of rice on the fire. And then I asked him, okay, so what are we eating the rice with today? And then he said, tomatoes are very hard to get. So he was making to get here. So he was making a lot of excuses. And then I realized, Guy doesn't even have one puller. That's why you couldn't even come finish me there at Texas. Then then I said, no, don't worry, I actually have some money with me, so we can use that and buy some foodstuffs because this ain't it. Mind you, there were no shops close to him. He actually had to go to that place that I took a taxi for 23 pula to come to his place, and also walk that other distance though to get to the shops. So I was like, okay. So we left. So he said, let's go, because we were gonna go there because that's where I also charged my phone. And boy, was it a long walk. I think it was 5k to 5k back. It was a long walk, and I told him, boy, I'm not coming back to charge my phone. You're gonna be coming alone because you're used to this. And he was like, yeah, no problem. And then also when we went there, we couldn't even get the tomatoes. All we got was kale and cabbage. So our menu for the 8 days that I was there was either kale, cabbage with pap or rice. So you can imagine, guy was literally in the middle of nowhere. And mind you, guy had said he works in the office and stuff like that. And while he was calling me, I never saw anything weird, because as I explained, he had a battery that he had set up, and then he had connected a bulb with long cables, and then there was a screw on the door. Like, just imagine the door, a screw, and then a hanger, and then the bulb would hang off, and then the door was white, so it would reflect light and it would look so bright. That's how I was now even calling my friends, video calling my friends, as if I'm in the city. Hectic. So around day, that's when I said I've had enough, and I came clean to some of my friends and I asked for money to come back, and they gave me money to come back. And that's when I told him, guys, this life is not for me, I'm leaving. And it's also very sad, because it's like he needed a companion, because imagine going days and days without seeing human beings, no human interaction. Like, he was literally right when you were saying you can come back outside, no one is gonna pass. Even in the afternoon when we would sit outside, we would not see anybody. So as I was leaving, he came to the place where I would get the 4-hour taxi to go to where we would get buses to South Africa. And as we were sitting there, I was just so sad, saying, oh, I'm so glad you came to see me regardless, and you were very nice. You were very nice. You were not even mean after you even discovered. And then I was like, oh, I forgot. So I had actually confronted him about, like, 4th of July and stuff like that. And he was like, oh, I never thought you'd really come. And when you said you were coming, and so that is getting real. And also I liked you from when we were talking, blah, 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 blah. And now when you came, I thought that if I ignored you, you're going to make a U-turn and go back. But then you kept on pursuing. Then I felt bad that if you were stranded because of me and stuff, that's when I realized that I should just let you come and see how it is here. And mind you, when you said there's a job at the guest house, he said it's literally next to him. And I'm telling you, when that guy was escorting me to where I was supposed to wait for him, to the village, we took 45 minutes from those big yards and 45 plus minutes walk just to get there. Like, he was away from civilization. And then he was now just so lonely. And then I deducted my money for the transport and to get to my brother's place, because now I was going back to South Africa, but I was going to stay with my brother because I had closed house and I never had time, so I had to go to my brother's place. So I calculated all that money, and then I gave him the change, and I told him to buy some canned foods and stuff to go back with home, because it was hectic. It was so bad. It was very, very sad. And also, did I tell you that he was so excited when I bought him ice cream? Okay, let's keep it cool. Anyways, so we learned a lot of stuff here, because imagine it was away from civilization. If he had died, no one would ever know that he died. If he had offed me, no one would know that I was offed. So that's a lesson. Do not relocate to places you're not so informed about, or that you don't know, because you could have been a serial killer, for crying out loud, just luring women out into the wilderness. Anyways, I'm tired of talking. So if you enjoyed this story, let me know in the comments if you have any questions. If you need a part 2, just let me know. And by the way, this story I was telling you, it's in first person, so hope you enjoyed it.